there, my name is Janine and I'm an upholsterer. And in a recent video, I showed you how to take these carpet pieces off of these cushion pieces. They have hidden screws. If you want to check that out, I'll link it below. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take this sad, squished, kind of junk looking foam to this. Much better, don't you think? With one simple tool. The tool of choice for this is a steamer. Now this is just a handheld garment steamer. Hamilton Beach is the brand of this one. I've had this one for quite a few years. It seems to work pretty well. Obviously it holds very little water, but sometimes they have a little easy to fill container. You can use just about anything that produces steam. When I first started, I had a kettle, those old kind of, round kettles with the handle, and I had a plastic pipe sort of jammed into it with duct tape around it. And I would put that on the ground, turn it on, and then the steam comes up through the pipe. Boom, you got a steamer. So if that's what you got, it'll work just as well as this. And I've used a bigger garment steamer. I've used fancy upholstery steamers, like the several $100 kind. They all do pretty much the same thing. If you can get steam coming out of a vessel and jam it onto your foam, you're golden. So this is as 100% simple and straightforward as it sounds. You take your steamer of choice, any kind that it might be, put it on the foam, and make the steam happen. That's it. It's like magic. I won't profess to know any science behind any of this, but I know that it basically works on any type of urethane foam. And if the foam is too far gone, it won't puff up, and then you know that you either need to reupholster what you got or replace the foam. But as you can see, it makes a pretty big difference in not a whole lot of time. Generally, I do the edges and any kind of indent from a seam or, overuse. Sometimes it'll push in. Sometimes if the foam is junk in the middle, it's just junk and you can't save it. But most of the times you can puff up these corners and it'll look, almost as good as new. The key thing I will tell you is try to use it in a well-ventilated space. I don't think breathing in the steam coming through the foam is that great, but quite often boat seats are moldy and you don't really want anything like that in your lungs. That's all you do. It's pretty easy. I remember getting these little capsules when I was a kid. A tiny little capsule, like a medicinal type of capsule. But inside it had this little piece of foam, and you would put them in water. And as soon as the capsule dissolves, this little piece of foam would be, immersed in the water at that point, and it would puff up into a shape, which the only ones I can remember are a dinosaur. And for some strange reason, this is exciting to me, and it takes me back to those fun little toys as a kid. You can't do anything with them. It's just a little chunk of foam shaped in a dinosaur, but it was neat as a kid to watch that happen. So once you steam your foam, you can upholster it. The only time I generally don't steam a cushion is if I'm replacing, let's say, only one of these two little football-shaped things is getting replaced in a boat. I might not steam the one that I'm upholstering because I'd like it to look as similar to the original as possible. So if I steam this and put a new cover on it, it likely will look a little bit bigger and fancier and nicer, which could be good, for ending up doing the second one. But if the customer is adamant saying, nope, I only need the one fixed, it's damaged for whatever reason, then I will likely not steam that one. But 9 times out of 10, I steam the foam. And if it's salvageable, it makes a pretty big difference. So there you have it. That's all there is to it. Find something that makes steam, stick it on the foam, and watch the magic happen. If you happen to like this unit, I'll link it in the description below. It's probably available from, any kind of place online, or anything similar will work. Like I said, anything from a kettle with a tube jammed into it, an electric kettle, to a big fancy steamer. Anything that makes steam will basically get this job done for you. So hopefully that blew your mind in amazing ways. Thank you for watching. I should also mention that this steam on the foam process works for all kinds of urethane foam applications. For example, those are some boat cushions I'm working on, but it works in cars, in RVs, in residential furniture, anything that has a chunk of foam like that, that's urethane foam, it will likely bring it back to life if it has a half chance. So hopefully that helps.